Okay, hello friends, family. Everybody keeps asking me what to do with these tapes. How do I do it? Well, I think I found a nice simple way, and you can do it yourself with VHS. These little 8mm tapes. I think I finally found the perfect solution. You want to get this. I just got it in the mail a couple days ago. I tried it out. Really simple to use. I really love it. Big believer in it. So I'm going to show you how to digitize your old VHS tapes. For the big tapes, VHS is probably the simplest. You'll have to find one of these dinosaurs. They're still not too hard to find. You can go to Goodwill, thrift shops, some friends, family, neighbors. Somebody's always got an old VCR laying around somewhere that still works. Preferably if you can get a 4-head hi-fi. So that's what you gotta do for the VHS. The smaller tapes, VHS-C, you can buy an adapter for the VHS-C, the mini tapes, and then you put the tape inside the adapter and play it on a regular VHS. The little 8mm tapes, them can be a little harder to find a player for them. Usually the best bet is to find the original camcorder that records them on for the small tapes. But yeah, you'll need some kind of player to play them. But they're out there if you look hard enough. Like I say, garage sales and stuff. You can find this stuff yet. But yeah, you'll need something to play the tape. And then when you open the box to your new video capture device here, I already opened it. Obviously this is in a bag and twist ties, blah blah blah. Comes with everything you need. Comes with the RCA yellow, red, and white cable. And then it comes with the capture device itself. These are your input cables. And then this transfers it to standard USB, plugs into any computer, laptop, desktop. I always highly recommend you use a desktop when capturing video because desktop computers have a little more processing power, but you can use a laptop. The next thing you want to do is you want to turn your VCR around to the back side, and if you look on the back side, you will see the red, white, and yellow plugs. And what you want to do is you look carefully, it says out and in. You want the 3 out plugs. These 3 here on the top, which means the signal is coming out of the machine. You don't want to use the in plugs. In is for if you want to record to the VCR, to the tape. You don't want to use those. You want to use the ones that say out. The 3 plugs that say out. The same thing goes for the little mini camcorder. Some of these little camcorders, boy, they're hard to find. You really got to look. This one's got a little flap door that you got to crack open, and there they are. And then you notice this one only has 2. It's got the yellow for video, and then it's only got 1 for audio. So this is a mono camera. It's not stereo. There's only 2 solutions to that. Obviously plug yellow for the video, but then you only got 1 hole left. Now one thing you can do, you can either pick the white for the left or red for the right, but when you record it, it's not going to be in stereo and it's only going to be on 1 channel. So if you like have your headphones on, you're only going to hear it in 1 ear. So if you plug the left one in, you're only going to hear it in your left ear. If you plug the red one in, you're only going to hear it in your right ear. To cure that problem, what you'll have to buy is a little Y splitter like this. This will put the red and white together into 1 plug. Okay, now you see you got the red and white, they come together into 1. And you want to do this too if your VCR is only a mono VCR. Like say if you got a VCR that only comes with the yellow and white and there's no red, then you only got a mono VCR, and you'll have to do the same thing, get this little Y adapter. Okay, so we got the output hooked up. So then what do you do with the other end of the cables? Well, the other three get plugged into the capture device itself. Color code to match. Yellow goes to yellow, red to red, and white to white. That goes into this little capture record device here. And then the other end, USB, that gets plugged into USB on your laptop or desktop. Just like so. Alright, the next thing you want to do, in order for this to work properly, you need to go to elgato.com to get the drivers and the software. And yeah, you need the software to record with. And you also need the driver for it to work too. So you want to download those two things. Alright, the next thing I definitely like to do, especially with VHS tapes, is these older VCRs, it's not too hard. It's usually just a couple of Phillips screws in the back. And I like to pull the top cover right off the darn thing. I do this for two reasons. Number one, as you're dubbing the tape, you can watch it and make sure this darn thing is not eating your precious tapes. And another thing I like to do, you can still find and buy these, is get a VHS head cleaning cassette. All it is a cassette tape with, see if I can flip it open. It's just a tape. Well, there's no tape in it. It's a cloth. It's a nice, real fine cleaning fiber cloth. And what I like to do is I like to put that in there. Let that play a little bit. And while the VCR is getting dried out and ready to go, you can open the capture program. Of all the capturing programs I've used, this is the most user-friendly and simplest I have ever seen. You open it up, it starts out, you can name your movie. We'll just call it Home Movie for now. This is just a demonstration. And then you want to tell it about how long you think it is. If it's longer than you think it is, you can go customize. You can go quite a ways. Most VHS tapes are no more than 2 hours, so I usually put it around 120 minutes. For space-wise, I always, just about every capture card I've used, I always estimate it's about a gigabyte per hour. So 1 gigabyte per hour, and this is pretty close. This is 120 minutes, 2 hours. This will take 2.1 gigabytes of hard drive space. And when you do that, you just hit next or continue, and right away a screen will pop up. This blue screen, this is the VCR. It's already turned on. If the VCR is not on, it'll just say no signal. But when you turn the VCR on, you either get a blue screen or a menu screen or something. If you can, some VCRs do come with an S-video plug. You do get a little bit better picture quality if you do have the S-video, but we're just going to use the RCA. You do have the option to capture in the widescreen format, but I never do that because VHS, the standard was 4:3 ratio. So when you watch it on a regular widescreen, you'll have the black bars on the side. I hate it when people stretch their video. It's just my preference, but you can do that if you want to stretch it, but it looks funky to me. So then you hit next, and it says connect the audio. Well, we already connected it, so you just hit next, and we are ready to record. So let's put the tape in here. Okay, and what I always like to do, because you can trim it afterwards, is get start recording on here first, get that going, and then push play on the VCR. You gotta remember, these tapes are old, so you're gonna get a little funky tracking every now and then. Usually it clears up after a while. It's usually just the beginning of the tape that's the worst. And another thing I like about this program is it tells you how long it's recording and how many megabytes is taken up, and you can have it automatically stop recording. So yeah, it's a pretty nice program. And you can see the reason why you want to get these tapes transferred. You can see that what tape is just about ready to go. It's a little glitchy every now and then, but yeah, that's why you want to get this done. And you can watch it, make sure it's not eating your tape. You don't have to completely babysit it, but I always like to keep an eye on it while it's dubbing, just in case. Well, I'm not going to do this whole tape because I've done it already. But when the tape is all done, you can just hit stop recording and stop the VCR. And what I really love about this is, okay, like say you want to cut off a little bit of the beginning, you can move this. Like say you want to cut off the first, like say, okay, the beginning of the tape was a little funky, so let's cut off like the first 10 minutes of it or so. And then let's say, okay, the ending, let's say you didn't get to stopping it quick enough, you want to cut off a little bit of the end, you can cut off a little bit of the end. And then, or whatever. And when you got the end and the beginning where you want it, just hit continue, and depending on the speed of your computer, and you can upload it to YouTube if you want, you can edit it. Or you can just play it. It saves it in my videos. That's another thing I like about it. It saves it in an MP format, and you can play it with VLC player. Basically, it's digitized anyway. But yeah, it'll play in GOM, no problem. It'll play with any media player, and it's digital, forever preserved. The main thing is, the point is, you want to get it saved digitally, get it on the computer. Like I say, here it is, it's an MP format. That's a pretty common format. And I used to be a big believer, oh, we got to get it to DVD. DVD is not the answer either. DVDs get scratched so easily. What I highly recommend is you can get these at Walmart. Get yourself one of these external Western Digital Passport. This one, so you figure 1 hour will hold 1 gigabyte, and there's 1,000 gigabytes in a terabyte. So that should tell you how much. That'll hold 4,000 hours approximately of video. So that's an idea. Or even just these little thumb drives, these little USB thumb drives, like this one will hold, it's either 16 or 32. Yeah, that holds 32 gigabytes, so this alone right here will hold 32 hours approximately. 30 hours, that's a lot of storage, you know. Or these little memory flash cards, SD cards. That's the best way to do it, I think. Store it on digital media, and then you can recopy, make backups. That's the key. Back up your data, that way you always have it. So anyway, I hope this helps some people out. Like I say, I'm a really big fan of this little capture device. Seems to be a good little device. So that's how it's done anyway.